This TikTok star is getting called out for hooking up with fans much younger than her, and her victim just broke his silence about everything she did. She went from millions of followers to public enemy #1 in the span of a few short months. Joyce just came out and said Zoe manipulated him when he was barely even a teenager.
She had told me if she went to jail for what she did, that she would off herself. And being only 13 years old, this is someone you idolize and you look up to, that is going to mess with your head.
But that's just the beginning of what he's revealing. Remember when Zoe Laverne was one of the biggest stars on musical.ly before it became the TikTok we know today? But even back then, she was no stranger to controversy. She'd frequently get called out for things like vaping in front of her young audience or acting like she's black. But further down the line, people started noticing something even more disturbing. Apparently, Zoe was getting way too close to her young fans. And that's how she met Joyce, who was just 12 years old at the time.
I was a fan. I did join her fan base in 2018. I had a fan page and everything.
They first met at a meet and greet in Washington, D.C., and Zoe started adding him and other young fans on Snapchat. But here's where things started getting weird. A few months later, when Zoe moved to Connor's hometown for what she described as a fresh start after her breakup. Now, Connor was only 13 at the time, and Zoe was 19. That's a 6-year age gap, but instead of keeping things appropriate, Zoe allegedly demanded his full attention.
She would try to seclude me off from my friends, from my family, try to get me away.
And that's when things went from bad to worse. Connor claimed Zoe engaged in completely inappropriate behavior with him as a minor.
She would engage in sexual conversations with me, sending me pictures, doing things on the phone with me.
Then the whole situation finally blew up in 2020 when a video surfaced showing Zoe kissing 13-year-old Connor. And the internet went crazy. Zoe quickly came out and said that she didn't mean for the whole mess to happen.
We both liked each other, and then we realized that the ages were too different. Nothing happened between us besides kissing.
But Connor's new video paints a very different picture of what actually went down. Apparently, the authorities even got involved at one point, but Connor says that by that point, he was already in over his head.
I did talk to authorities and I did lie to the police because I was heavily manipulated and I was still in a sense of trying to protect her.
And the investigation didn't seem to scare her off either. And once it was over, she went right back to stalking Connor. That's when Zoe conveniently announced she was pregnant, which had many thinking that this was all damage control to distract from the scandal. And it kinda worked. Everyone pretty much forgot about Connor. That is, until now. Connor says the aftermath completely destroyed his life.
It has been 5 years and I was bullied out of school, I was harassed, I was assaulted, my house has been attempted to be swatted, my address was leaked.
Meanwhile, Zoe has been living her life, married with a kid, while Connor says he's still in therapy years later. But now that Connor has spoken out, Zoe has turned off comments on all her social media and claims she's getting help. But the internet isn't buying it. Former fans are now switching their support and calling her out. Meanwhile, Connor says that he has receipts to back up everything he's claiming, and he's planning to release more evidence if needed. But the question everyone's asking now is, will Zoe finally face real consequences for her alleged actions? Or will she find another way to escape accountability like she did before?